Hi guys, it's your girl Suncha V and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, then hello. I love having you here so much. And if you have, then thank you for coming back because it means a lot to me. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about how to fall in love with your life. It has sprung to my attention that people see me as like this romanticizing life guru and this person that just like loves life, and it's not a lie. I genuinely love life. You know what, funnily enough, every Monday, something that you just do in like the working environment, they always just ask, how's your weekend, how are you, whatever, when you come in the morning. And usually my colleagues are like, oh hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm really good. And they're like, really? Because it's just a passing thing that people just do. It's like a formality. But whenever I respond, they're always taken aback. Obviously, everybody just says, I'm good, thanks, how are you? But I'm always like, I'm really good. And they're always like, really? And it's like they're shocked that I'm really good, but I am really good. And I need to express how really good I am. So I'm guessing that you have clicked on this video because you want to start loving your life. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along your path of life, you have fallen out of love with your life. Maybe you never even loved your life in the first place. Maybe this is the breaking point where you're like, oh my gosh, no, I need to do something. And you have gone onto YouTube and you've either typed in something along these lines or this has come up on your recommended, and if that is the case, then tell me that's a sign without telling me that's a sign. I'm here and I'm going to tell you, first of all, how I personally have just completely re-fallen in love with my life. I'm going to tell you the top tips that I think are worth actually implementing into your daily life and daily habits to completely just fall in love with your life. The last couple years, if it's shown me anything, it's that mindset is so important. And it sounds like such a cliche, oh my gosh, yeah, you choose to be happy. But it is genuinely the truth. And obviously there's circumstances that make it really, really hard. However, if you build this mindset of I am going to just determine the life that I want to have by shifting my perspective, then it will happen for you. So I think it's only right, since I'm telling you guys how to do it, to sort of give you guys, I guess, a peek into my own life. And there was a time, I think, to be honest, my like childhood was a really good childhood. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like filthy rich, but I was just like comfortable. And that was also because my mum definitely like shielded me from knowing a lot of things that were probably going on behind the scenes. She always saw the glass as half full rather than half empty. And that's just something that I've subconsciously just always seen. So that's definitely something that I've like grown up realizing the value of perspective, because my mum always had a positive perspective. I was sort of overall just, I guess, a happy, bubbly child. Secondary school, same thing. One of my friends now calls me Lizzie McGuire. That was literally me. But in my like late teens, going into uni / post uni, just the way it plummeted was so severe. I feel like your late teens to early adulthood is such a detrimental time if you do not literally guard your mind and guard your heart with every single thing inside of you. It's such a difficult period to go through. If you are currently in that period, just buckle tight. And it's good that you're watching this video because it means that you're trying to do something different and you're trying to actually help yourself before even getting to that place, which is really, really, really good, because prevention is always better than cure. I think it's the age where comparison starts to creep in. I think it's the age where you start to obviously get like romantic relationships with the opposite sex, and I think that too early can just absolutely finish you. Post uni, I went through a very, very traumatic situation, which, to be honest, I think one day I'll actually write a book on, because it was actually that like severe. It really, really, really took a toll on me, and I just completely spiraled. I was heavily, when I tell you, like, the world was just so dark. And it's only now that I've come out of that place that I look back and I realize how dark the like world used to be. I remember just waking up and it just being so gloomy. That's all I can even just picture. My heart just felt gloomy, the way I saw things. My eyes were like a tap. I would cry on like an offset. Now I cry of happiness, which is crazy because I never thought I'd be that person. But like now I can cry because something just makes me so happy. Life just did not feel like it was worth living. And it's so sad, genuinely so sad, that there's still people people that that is their reality, because that was once my reality. But I'm here today to tell you that girl, that random girl on the internet is me, that's telling you that you can come out of that place, because I came out of that place and I'm like not superwoman. So it's more than possible. I think the number one thing, I'm going to give you lots of tips in this video, but the number one thing that got me out of that place is, of course, Jesus Christ, praying more, reading the Bible more. This is like the best metaphor that I can possibly put to how I felt. I literally felt like I was like drowning and God just reached below the waves and literally just like pulled me up. That is exactly how it felt. It felt like one more day, 2 more days there and I would have literally drowned. And that is what God can do for you. He can do it for every single person. God is above and beyond a miraculous God. Like, he is omnipresent, so he can do the same thing for me, for you, for everybody at the exact same time, because he can be at multiple places at the exact same time. So if you're watching this video and I'm a sitting living testimony of what God can do, he can do it for you too. So just keep on believing. So I'm going to be telling you in this video 3 steps of exactly how I done it. Okay, so step number 1 is you are going to do a life evaluation. If you want to actually go to a coffee shop, or you just want to sit down in your room, or you just want to go to the park and sit in a field or whatever, but this has to be a literal moment where you are specifically sitting down and you are doing this. It's not like a passing comment or a passing fleeting thing. It's like you are going to sit down and you are going to evaluate your life. And I want you to think of the things that do not edify you, things that do not make you feel good, the things that make you feel just a bit like just not great. And you're going to write it down. Literally, you're going to get a notepad. You are going to physically write it down. What things do not make me feel good? And there are 3 particular categories that I want you to think about. The first is people. What people in your life just are too much energy, and not in too much energy in a type of way, maybe that person's going through stuff and you need to be there for them and it's a season. That is different. Or like, oh, your mum's always asking you to do stuff and it's like takes so much energy. Like, no, not that type of energy. Energy that it feels like it's literally, they are sucking your soul dry. That type of energy, and nothing good comes from it ever. And if, as I'm saying this, someone has even popped into your head, then that is a complete 100% justification that that is that person, because we have something called a gut instinct and an intuition that does not lie to us. And even speaking for me in my own life, there is some people that if I had got rid of them, not got rid of them, that sounds really harsh, but if I had let them go out of my life a long time ago, I would have saved myself so much hurt and saved myself so much pain and saved myself so many situations that I just wouldn't have been in. So firstly, I want you to think about the people who, every time you're around them, do you leave them feeling just ugh? Like, you just leave them feeling heavy. You just leave them feeling like, oh, like when they call your phone, you think, oh, my days. Or on the flip side, when they call your phone, you think, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I need to answer right now, I need to answer right now, I need to drop everything I'm doing, I need to see this person. Like, that's not healthy. That is not healthy, because that gives like cocaine addiction. Genuinely, I'm gonna do a whole separate video about like the effects of being like toxically addicted to someone and what that can do to you. Number 2 is what habits in your life do not edify you, what habits in your life do not make you feel good. This for me was waking up late, and I have always woke up late my whole life, apart from the last maybe 3 years. I feel like I shifted to be a morning girly, but before that I used to start school at 8:30, and I kid you not, I used to live 15 minutes walk away from my school, and I would literally wake up at like 8:05. I used to literally always drag my sleep to the last second, and I used to just hate myself for it. I didn't feel good. I used to feel like my day started rushed. I didn't like it. I didn't like that I used to just sleep so much. So that was a habit that just did not make me feel good. So that would be something on my list, for example. Think about the stuff that really affects you. So it could be habits, like I said, waking up late, habits like eating bad food, habits like procrastination. And the third is consumption. This is quite general. You have to think about, what do I consume that does not make me feel good? And specifically, we're gonna think about food, we're gonna think about music, we're gonna think about reality TV, we're gonna talk about social media. What accounts do you need to unfollow? I remember when I used to literally bang Bad Girls Club, like as in when I was in college, and I started saying stuff like, oh yeah, if you want to pop off, you can pop. And it just, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Do you know what I mean? When I watched The Crown, because I'm a binge watcher as well, by the way, I'm going off topic, but just stay here. I'm a binge watcher, so I don't watch just one episode or something. I literally have to finish the season right then and there. And I started speaking all posh, and I started thinking I was an aristocrat. And it's just what you do, because literally you are what you see. All these things, but for right now, you are just making a list. So step number 2 For step number 2, once you've got your first list, we are going to come up with things that we're going to use to replace that first list. Because if it's one thing I've noticed is if you remove something from your life and you do not fill it with an equally better, positive thing, honey, best believe it's gonna be filled with something worse. So for instance, let's say if you are saying to yourself, do you know what, I am not going to talk to this person anymore because you know what, they just don't fuel me. And you don't think of something you're gonna do in that time to fill up the time that you would have spoken to that person, trust me, it's going to be filled with something just even worse, because the devil, is a full-time devil. This is one thing that they really say a lot in my church, and it's like, especially like my bishop says a lot in my church. If you are fighting a full-time devil with a part-time fight, just forget about it. Because let me give you this scenario. There's this boy, for example, or this girl, and they're really toxic and you just don't like speaking to them. So you think, you know what, now I'm gonna block them. But you used to talk to them for 2 hours every night before you went to bed. If you do not think of a thing to fill it with, so for instance, I'm gonna go for walks in that time, I'm gonna read a book in that time, and now you just got 2 hours in your hand, you're gonna be sitting in bed and you're gonna be itching to speak to them. You're literally gonna be like itching. Like it's gonna be so hard to not speak to them because you're so used to it. Or even worse, you're gonna fill it with watching junk TV, or you're gonna fill it scrolling through social media, aimlessly doing nothing. So you have to make sure that whatever you have identified in part 1 of this video, you are going to use part 2 of this video to fill it with something positive. And what I would recommend filling this with is things that are just so much more wholesome. So for instance, fill it with reading books that are going to entertain you. It's not everyday self-help book. And this year I've realized that I've read so many books and I just genuinely enjoy reading them. As I'm reading them, I feel like my mind is creating this whole story of this book and I just love it. Secondly, I would recommend going on walks. Going on walks is the best. Like when you have like no destination of where you're trying to actually get to with this walk and you're not in a rush to get somewhere and you're just peacefully walking and you're just taking nature, going for walks is just the best. I would recommend filling that empty space in your life with solo time. Solo time is going to absolutely make you fall in love with your life because you start to realize what you enjoy. You start to realize what you like. You realize that you're not doing stuff for outside validation, but you're doing it for your own life. So go to the coffee shop by yourself and just have a coffee or a chai latte or a peppermint tea, it doesn't really matter, and just sit and read a book and just romanticize your life. Tell yourself that you are in a Hollywood movie and you're sitting here and life is great, life is Gucci. Start to fall in love with yourself. You only have one life and you spend 100% of that time with yourself. Even if you're with other people, you are still with yourself. There is no one that you are around more than you are around yourself. So now is the time to fall in love with yourself. Buy yourself flowers, take yourself on dates, go on solo trips, you know, write stories about yourself, write stories to yourself, journal. You know what, how about this? I've never done this, but it just came in my head right now. So it might be the Holy Spirit telling me to say this. Write a love letter to yourself. How about that? It sounds cringy, you might cringe and you might while you're doing it, but do it. I'm gonna do it after this video. Dear Sauncher, right now, you are currently 25 years old and you are looking amazing, babe. You are living your dream life. You're a paralegal, working in the city, and just romanticize your life. That's what we're gonna do, okay? And you know what scripture comes to my mind is Proverbs 4:23. And it's a scripture that talks about guarding your heart. And you know what, let me actually read it. So Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart. Everything you do flows from it. Your heart is very, very, very important. And this is what I'm saying, to fill the space that you have removed all that negativity from and fill it with something positive, because God himself says above all else, guard your heart. It's very, very important. What you let into your heart is who you are. It's important. It's important to fill your heart with the things that edify you and things that make you feel good. God literally tells us to guard our heart above everything else. Your eyes are the gateway to your soul. Whatever you used to consume, you're not going want to consume that anymore. So now you're going to consume positive stuff. Again, it's what you enjoy, and you want to romanticize your life, and you want to fall in love with your life. But I'm telling you now, you will fall in love with your life if your life is filled with positivity, because you will start to just feel more positive. So last but not least, and this is my favorite tip of all time, this is the icing on top of the cake. This is like, I've done the evaluation, I've removed the toxic stuff, I've brought in the positive stuff, and now number 3, you are going to romanticize your life. You're going to romanticize the heck out of your life, because you, my friend, are a movie. You, my friend, are the star in a movie. You, my friend, your life is a movie. You are only here for what, 100 years probably max on this earth. That's a little bit insy bincy time. So you're going to romanticize your life. You're going to wake up in the morning like this. Today is gonna be a good day. And I'm not kidding, I actually used to do that for like the first 4 months of this year, and then I just fell off. But I started doing it again the last like couple weeks. And I literally wake up feeling like I'm Barbie. Insert a clip of Barbie right now.
When I wake up in my own pink world, I get up out of bed and wave.
That is me when I wake up in the mornings. I'm not joking. I literally do. Today's gonna be a good day. Tomorrow, that's what you're gonna do, okay? That's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna absolutely love it. So this is like a sub-tip of romanticizing your life. Show gratitude with every little thing. I said this in my podcast, yeah? When I stayed at my friend's house for 2 nights, I got home, I walked into my room, and I was like, oh my gosh, this room is the best room ever. Guys, my room, if I literally like stand like this twice, I could probably reach to the next side of my room. I don't even have a big room, but I love my room. I'm like, oh my god, I love my room. Oh my god, it's so white. Oh my god, the interior is so good. This is what I mean. You have to be you have to see yourself as a blessed individual, because you are blessed. You are highly favored. You even says in Genesis, I think it's 2:26 or 1:26, but I'm gonna put it here anyway. It says that you were made in God's image. So from today, you're gonna start romanticizing the heck out of your life. You're gonna see gratitude in the smallest little things. I don't care if you drive a car that you hate. Tomorrow when you go into your car, you're gonna sit in that car and you're gonna be like, wow, I love this car. Wow. And you're gonna pick out the smallest thing about your car. It could even be the fact that, I don't know, the music goes loud. You're gonna turn the music all the way up and you're gonna say, wow, listen to the how loud this music goes. Guys, it sounds silly, but this is actually what you have to do. Like, genuinely. Let me tell you, yeah, I used to literally like want to gain weight so badly. My personality was literally weight gaining. You'll probably notice if you've been here for like the last how many years on my YouTube channel that I was obsessed with gaining weight. Now, you kidding me? Obviously, I still wouldn't mind gaining a little bit of weight, but I've shifted my mindset. I'm like, wow, I love how flat my stomach is. Before I used to think I was so skinny, and because I'm so skinny, my stomach obviously is flat. But now I'm like, heck, I love how flat my stomach is. Wow. I look in the mirror, I'm like, you are a supermodel. Like, you know how many people want to be size 0? Huh, yeah. And this is actually what you have to do. You have to shift your mindset completely. And this is the money breaker, okay? Tell yourself that everything is for the plot. Do it for the plot is my new motto in life. Listen, hashtag do it for the plot every single day. Hashtag romanticize your life every single day. You know, something could happen to me, yeah? And I'm like, you know, it's just for the plot. It is just for the plot. I could miss a train, which is now gonna make me late. And before I used to be like, oh, my day's a train. Oh my God, I missed the train. Now I'm just like, you know what? Number one, God knows. God is ordaining my steps, because God knows what would have happened if I got on that train. Maybe I got on that train and I would have ended up collapsed. Who knows? But now I'm just like, is what it is. And then number 2, do it for the plot. Maybe this is the plot. Maybe I missed that train because now someone's gonna meet me, something's gonna happen, and okay. So that's what I tell myself. Maybe the love of your life is gonna see you, and they wouldn't have seen you if you got on that train. And genuinely, you will start to fall in love with your life. You will start to just fall in love with being you. Tell yourself, genuinely, like, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I am amazing, I am beautiful. God has made me incredible, and that is how you're gonna fall in love. That's how I have fallen in love with my life. I kid you guys not. I record everything, document everything. I like, hey, I say hi to strangers. I tell strangers, I love your top. I really love your top. Just for the sake of it, because why not? So I really, really hope this video gave you some good tips. I hope that you are going to walk away from this video just loving life, realizing that everything that happens to you happens for you. Tomorrow is coming regardless. The world is still spinning. You live your life. You wake up every single day and you decide that today is going to be the day that I am going to be happy. I'm going to see the sun even when there's no sun, and I'm gonna just show up for myself. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If there's more stuff that you want me to give my tips about, then please comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow me on Instagram.